13 years ago, there was a devastating terrorist attack involving guns in America. That same day, the gun devil appeared.
I wish they'd let me dream, at least for a little bit.
You have two options. Either you die by my hand as a depraved devil, or you allow me to keep you as a human being.
Knuckle down and wise up to this job or you'll die. The only ones who survive are those with strong convictions at their core.
All right, on your knees, mortal scum! You stand in the presence of power!
I hate humans with a passion, and the same goes for devils.
Just dreaming of a normal life was enough to keep me going. But I don't even get to have that much!
Denji here is a human. However, he can also turn into a devil. You're special, more so than any of the other devil hunters.
Time to fight! Time to fight! Time to take you out!
We won't hesitate to kill you should you side with the devils. Everyone is serious about this but you.
If you're gonna get in our way, then die!
And welcome everyone to a new episode of the Big Eyes Podcast. Thank you guys for your patience. I know we've been a couple more longer weeks than anticipated, but we're back on our mangaka series where we're talking about some of our favorite mangaka. But as always, it is LJ, the voice that you're hearing, the voice that you love, the voice that you admire, the voice that you cherish so much. And I'm also joined by the one and only AD. Who else can it be? How's it going, my brother?
Yeah. I'm just the voice of reason. That's all it is here on this way. It's been good, man. It's been a minute since we done put out something, you know what I'm saying? But it's still been good shit that we've been talking about, so I ain't even tripping.
Yeah, no, I mean, to be fair, it's not like we purposely missed.
Yeah, shit just been happening. Like,
things have been happening. It was 4th of July weekend. It was nice to take a little break, but also it was was it the State of Play or what was it again? That was it.
Oh yeah, we had some stuff for like plug and play come out. So we had some news that we had to drop for that in the meantime, which was good. You know, we had to get, a little summer episode out, but we back with it on Big Eyes because still some good manga talk going on, and like a lot of the big manga news been coming out recently. So I mean, shit.
I mean, I think the biggest manga news we got is Sakamoto Days.
Yeah. Sakamoto Days is about to wrap up. I think either not this week as we drop this episode, going into next week with the Lookout returning. Sakamoto Days is supposedly like in its climax, maybe a few more chapters left beyond that, which is crazy. It's the third series that Shonen Jump has ended within the last like month and a half, with like Hema 10 and Blue Box just wrapping up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we losing out on some of the good hits from the 2020s.
Yeah, we are. It's bittersweet.
Yeah,
these are definitely series I think we championed pretty early, that we really fell in love with, that definitely were having some great runs.
Like, it's crazy. I was going through my gallery because like I ain't got no space on my phone, so I was trying to see like what I could delete, and I was going back. And we were putting out rankings for a lot of them shits, bro. Like, we had Sakamoto Days in there. Blue Box had a top ranking at one point. We had like a top 10 list going, man. Like,
yeah, no, we were locked in. Maybe we need to bring that back.
Hey, we might have to.
Chat, let us know. Chat. Put me an idea on Streamer University. Chat, let us know. And we need to bring back some Big Eyes ranking, some more manga talk throughout the year, not keeping it a summer Akame special.
Yeah. Like, come back maybe maybe once a month, maybe a quarter, you know what I'm saying? Just a little check-in.
Just to check in, make sure y'all understand what's happening in this manga world. It's still booming. I do think manga as a whole has changed. in terms of it used to be a thing where the anime was to push the manga. They will release the anime because they want people to read. So you're gonna release this anime. You're gonna get excited. You're like, oh man, there's more of the story. Let me go out and get the manga. I feel now it's the opposite in a way.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the manga is always gonna lead the manga is always gonna lead the anime. Like that's always gonna be what happened. You can't get the anime without the manga. I mean, you can, but it's kind of a rare thing. But I do think that now it is a thing of once a manga reaches a certain popularity or a certain number of chapters, the mindset is okay, let's hurry up and push this as an anime because we know more people are gonna want to watch this than read this.
And it's gonna be a thing of like, you know, for people who are tapped into the manga, because you know that is where we have to do the initial, you know, check of whether or not this is a good series. If it's good enough, if it gets the numbers, if it gets high enough, then we'll put out the anime, right? But then it also becomes from that point on whether or not the adaptation is good or not, because a lot of them are good nowadays, but we have the occasional one where it doesn't do everything that the manga does, or it may be 3D CG. So it's like, oh, okay, we gotta go back to the manga, read the manga for the full detail for this. They've cut a lot of stuff, or it's so good. It's like, no, go check out the anime. The anime does this a lot better than the manga would, because you know they explain things properly. Everything looks fluid in motion. It's not just like static drawings or whatever. Like think about I hate to use these as an example, but like JJK as far as like culling games from the anime compared to the manga, right? Would you say somebody needs to watch the anime or read the manga?
Oh, you're definitely watching the anime to get a better understanding of the coloring games for sure.
Exactly. But then we get into something like, I don't want to say One Piece, but like maybe Sakamoto Days. You know what I'm saying? Like when we first started reading Sakamoto Days, I think we were like, oh, we could definitely see this as an anime. But then when we got the anime, at least the first season, it was like, oh, this might be a little hit or miss, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with, and I hear what you're saying. I do think that, especially something like JJK, I think it works with Hunter x Hunter and a lot of other manga that have very complex explanations, especially for longer arcs or power systems or whatever. It typically translates a little better to anime because they are able to fully explain things in a better way. Culling games, for example, I think culling games have been a success anime wise for the simple fact that it's much easier to understand watching than it was reading it. I think narrations, all those things really help explain all that better. I think something like Sakamoto Days, I think visually it's such a good manga that you would, I mean, it's a really good story too, but I think visually how it reads really well. The manga is just so well drawn. It's like a great just shonen manga. That you just kind of want to dig deeper more. It feels a lot more Western comic booky than, I think that's what makes it translates so well, like successful wise in terms of like manga sales and whatnot.
Yeah. And you can, like, we have to look at what's out now. Like the big thing out right now is Kagurabachi, which is more of a Western feeling
Oh yeah,
story
that
than
definitely is a Western, like that is super inspired by
compared to like,
Western comics for sure.
think about like what is the big Japanese feeling series that you think is out right now? Like, and I'm thinking backwards, and like JJK would be that, but it feels also very Western in a sense. And if I have to go,
I feel that's a lot more because like Gege is a true like he's a true millennial. I feel the same with Fujimoto, who we'll be talking about today.
Yeah.
But I mean, but that's what I mean. We talk about Chainsaw Man, and I think what makes Chainsaw Man so popular, and I think not even just Chainsaw Man, a lot of his works, the one shots,
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye Eerie, Look Back. I mean, he only has 2 serialized publications with Chainsaw Man and Fire Punch, with a bunch of other um
Like small
one
short
shot,
stories.
yeah, short
Yeah.
story stuff. But I think what I feel Fujimoto really truly is the voice of this kind of new, like this new, I don't want to say new age, but of this generation of mangaka. Like
Mm-hmm.
Fujimoto is that voice, and for the simple fact that he really does lean into the fact that he's a millennial. Like, he's a 90s baby. He was born in early 90s. He grew up on a lot of the same stuff that we grew up on. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
his inspirations come from the things that we enjoy. I mean, for a guy in his mid 30s, the movies that he references, his, like, his art style, the pop culture references and things, even just like you look at his characters and how his characters are, their temperament, their mentality, all, like, it is very much a, you know, I get, a very much a younger adult outlook on things.
Mm-hmm.
Even the themes that he touches on, um even like, I know that we, Chainsaw Man can have some very much left field things in it, but a lot of that does stem from some of that humor and some of the things that we grew up on, things like Jackass.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
like Spike TV was a real thing, man. Like, there's a lot of that kind of, granted, it is very hypersexual in a way, and not even in a way, it's just hypersexual, but it still comes from a place of, you go, you look at the things that we're influenced by at that time, it's
Mhm.
tied into this, which feels,
There's a lot
you
of
know,
artistic expression and intrinsic meaning behind the things that he does. You know what I'm saying? Like when we talk about the, let's say, Goodbye Airy, or I think one of his other ones is like Just Listen to the Song. A lot of those have to deal with like creative expressions, and like one of them is filmmaking, and we could tell he's just a film buff because he uses the same theater theme or motif in like Fire Punch. We use it in Chainsaw Man. You know what I'm saying? He's a very expressive person. He likes movies. We know he's a moviegoer because he's
yeah,
probably gonna drop a theater scene in every one of his works, if not. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then we got something like Just Listen to the Song. I think he has another short story where it's about music, and a kid is trying to teach a mermaid how to play the piano underwater. You know what I'm saying? Like he has a lot of different themes where he's trying to express like creativity in a very supernatural way. So with Fujimoto, he's definitely going to be somebody that we can dive into a little bit more. But like just the new foray of mangakas out here, following under him. Like we think about all the series that we've covered where they were like assistants to him. You know what I'm saying? We
yeah.
got
I mean, going down his assistant list, I'm talking, you're talking Yuji Kaku, who
mm-hmm,
did Hell's Paradise. You're talking about Endo, who has done Spy Family.
mm-hmm,
um Tatsu, who has done who did Dandadan, or is doing Dandadan. I mean, those are your top three assistants in those 3 series. Once again, I feel are series that define this current generation of manga that we're in. I
mm-hmm.
guess what is so impressive to me, and something I want to hear your thoughts on too, is, so let's say Fujimoto has been active since 2011, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is when he published it. He got his first work published. Really starts working around like 2013, 2014. He kind of starts
Mm-hmm.
really getting his chance. I mean, at such a young age, he already has 3 former assistants that have gone to do 3 really, really great works. What is it about him that makes his voice in his writing, I feel, stand out so much more than his counterparts, that like once again, we're even going back to Gege. Like Gege is another one where you're like, this is a millennial kid, this is a 90s baby, like this is someone who grew up in the 90s, who really understands 90s, like the culture, all this. I still don't think he has the same influence and voice as Fujimoto. What is it that you feel Fujimoto is doing writing wise that is connecting more with fans and kind of inspiring a lot more of the work that is happening right now? In comparison to, like, like I said, his assistants, like Don Don is very, you can see the Chainsaw Man influence in that. Hell's Paradise, I feel there's a lot of Fire Punch in that.
Yeah. Yep.
No, Spy Family, I feel, is the one oddball out, but even then, if we're talking about influence and where you can see some of Fujimoto coming out in that, some of the culture references, you see some of the humor in there too, that is very like, okay, like you can tell they worked under somebody that kind of just really understood what culture and what was happening in the world outside of, kind of like a lot more in the Western world. I'll
Yeah.
say, like, they paid
Yeah.
attention to what pop culture was like in the Western world while also understanding its, the Japanese influence of it all.
Yeah. I think and this is something I've read in the short stories that he had published out. And he has, like, at the end of each one, there's like a small quote from him about, him, what inspired him to write those short stories. And each one you can see, like, he'll say the editorial team pushed me to write this certain type of story because they believed I couldn't, create unique characters. So that's how I came up with Nayuta. Or if there was a way to make just a normal story that I have to, like, I can just focus in, do something a little bit more grounded, I can do that too. So I think it's also in line with what really makes it happen, what really makes it shake out for him, and what really pushes the boundary is the fact that, like, he has or had editors who were like, yo, let's go for this. Let's try to do this. Let's work on this. It's like, you got a coach, man, and your coach is like, all right, you've been putting up 300 shots in the last hour. Let's work on some defensive drills. You know what I'm saying? Let's work on this. Let's work on your reaction time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got somebody in your corner who is trying to push you to do this certain type of story. And from what I've seen with those, it's like, okay, he's taking all of that in stride, and through at least doing this, he's learning a couple of lessons. Like, one of the stories that he put out was pivotal for the creation of Look Back, which is a crazy thing to think about when you see what Look Back became, in terms of, like, it's this movie about two people who are aspiring mangakas. Somebody that is Fujimoto is really self-influenced, self-inspired, but it's a different type of story that he tells because he's telling himself, or telling a story that feels like it's about him through the perspective of two different girls. You know what I'm saying? So I think he has people who are telling him, like, yo, let's go for this. Let's do this. And then he's taking that, putting it into his works. And, when he has his assistants come into the fold and look at what he's working on for, like, something like Fire Punch, um, which is like a story about revenge until it doesn't become about revenge, you can see that in something like I want to say Hell's Paradise, in a way, where he wants to tell the story of, yo, I want to go see my wife. Like, something that he's really shown, like, in a lot of his stories that we don't see in, like, we see in part 2 of Chainsaw Man, even part 1 of Chainsaw Man. It's like the story of love, and, like, your first love, and, like, understanding what romance is, and, like, we see that in the Spy Family. Like, Lloyd doesn't understand, well, I guess he understands the idea of love, but he really doesn't know what love is, because it's the back and forth mind games of, like, keep staying undercover and Anya being the one who knows everything, the all-knowing thing, but she's like 5 years old, so she really can't talk about it. And then there's Don, which is the true romance story, and it's like your first love and somebody who understands you, what the falling out from that, and things like that. And when you see how all of his stories, not just like the big ones like Chainsaw Man. Like Chainsaw Man is probably the most out there. It is like the most out there story he's told in terms of like, yo, I've had nothing. I came up from nothing. So I want to be able to experience all the things that I've ever wanted to experience. I want to get a girlfriend. I want to have sex. I want to eat good food. You know what I'm saying? Because I came from nothing. I had to get it out the mud. I want to do everything it is in life that I can be able to do. And as we got to the end of Chainsaw Man Part 2, he experiences a lot of those things. He kind of loses himself along the way, picks himself back up. His best friend, I don't want to spoil it for real, but
Man,
he
listen, it's a manga podcast. Go ahead, brother.
yeah, but like
I'll
you know what I'm saying, like it's just a story of sacrifice for your friends. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot going on in there, and you can see in a lot of these stories that he tells that it pushes everyone around him and gravitates readers into like one of the things that he really does a good job at that I like is the paneling and pacing. Because he lets scenes breathe.
I can't lie, like with him being a real true cinephile, like a guy that you can really see that he loves movies, and I am sure that if he ever gets a chance to direct or something, I can definitely see him taking that chance.
Mm-hmm.
But his movie, or not his movie, but his manga, they really do read like scripts.
Yeah.
Like they really read like scripts. They really feel like they've been that's how they feel. Like everything feels like, man, this could really be made into a movie. Like this is just a movie script that just so happened to just have pictures on it.
And if it weren't for the fact that like we just got last year his other works, I think he only has one work right now that doesn't have an anime adaptation. But like Look Back got anime and is getting a live action. You know what I'm saying? Like he just because of how he tells his story and it reads like a script, they can put it in either or. Like they have he has it down to a science at this point.
And it's crazy because I mean, Fire Punch is his first work. And Fire Punch, I don't feel it's not as tight as Chainsaw Man, meaning like you can tell he was still finding his voice. There's definitely a part of Fire Punch where he hits a groove. You're like, okay, like he's in a flow state.
Yeah.
But I think Fire Punch though is like kind of him. It's a skeleton of who Fujimoto ends up becoming.
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man drops, and then you're like, oh, this is who Fujimoto is. Like, okay, bet. Because Fire Punch runs 2016 to 2018. Chainsaw Man picks up part 1, starts in 2018. Runs until 2020, but I do feel that next work, Chainsaw Man, is him really but it's kind of like watching Wimby take that leap,
Yeah.
Like that's what it feels like. Like you see him, you're like, oh, like this Fire Punch is like, oh, he got skills, like he can hoop for sure. Like he got that dog in him. He's just figuring it out. Chainsaw Man drop, you're just like, I don't know who's better than him right now. It's just like,
but it's also like I don't know where he's going with this, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, like you don't really know, but also I think if you look at once again comparing him to what was happening at the time and everything else that's going on, he's really the oddball
Mm-hmm.
in comparison to
Like
uh
like
Black
Gege was.
Clover that was listening out,
Yep.
JJK is running, My Hero Academia is running.
All of those are super normal stories by the books.
Oh yeah, no, there absolutely are, and that's no, and listen, Horikoshi did amazing work with My Hero Academia. I mean, I think Horikoshi, what he did was pretty damn hard. I mean, you have to have skill and talent, but he really kind of took a route of, okay, I understand that superheroes and these things are really popular right now. I'm gonna take this popular topic and make it my own and make it stand out. Like, it doesn't feel like you're reading a comic. Like, it still feels like you're reading a manga, all that. And like, but end of the day, it still fit a mold. JJK still fit a mold. Black Clover still fit a mold. What else is running at this time? I mean,
Of course, One Piece. I think like Food
like
Wars.
even One Piece has a formula that works.
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man, in comparison to all those was so out the norm.
Yes.
Shit, Demon Slayer's running. Promise Neverland is running.
Dr. Stone, I think, is running
Dr. Stone is running at that time. Like, these are things that had they all were able to fit kind of more into that shonen role. I feel Promise Neverland was leaning a bit left. Feel with some certain parts. I think Goldie Pond is really where you're kind of just like, damn, these niggas is hunting children. Like, you like, shit, what am I reading?
Yeah.
But Chainsaw Man really felt like, no, this is different. Like, come on, he's selling testicles. Like, he's getting thrown up in the mouth.
Like, literally fighting demons, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is Spawn or Ghost Rider, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so different from the typical demon hunting thing, like in Demon Slayer. It's
there's no real kid appropriateness of it, right?
Yeah.
And everything else felt like, okay, this can very much fit a general audience. Promise Neverland could fit a general audience. Demon Slayer could fit a general audience. My Hero Academia could fit a general audience. These are very, like, these things can be marketed. These things can be pushed to the masses, and you will be pretty okay.
You know how crazy it is that you have a chapter that can't even be released like worldwide because of how graphic it is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then so it turns into, he kind of creates this uphill battle for himself because of the story that he's writing, but his writing is so good you can't deny it.
Yeah.
Like, his writing is that good where you're kind of like, no, like, this is, yeah, it's a little insane, but this is telling a story of a kid, and you're kind of going through a lot of his internal struggles, and you see that, like, a lot of his stuff is rooted in his own trauma, and you're like, oh, and then here are these other characters that are all other traumatized human beings that are fighting these demons, and even these demons have these, like, other schemes, and you see how the work has messed these people up and corruption from top down, and you're like, hold on, like, wait, this is
a lot deeper. Like, it went from a kid being influenced by, his upbringing to it's bigger than this. It's literally a phenomenon that is affecting the entire world, to the point where we got cultists popping up out of everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Random girls just start showing up. Different things that are popping up, and it's like, what decisions can you make? It's like showing the effects of what type of person you are, what decisions will you make, because this not only affects you but the people around you. Even though you don't want to live this type of lifestyle, there people are around you going to push you to have to make a decision on something. You know what I'm saying? And you can see that in a lot of his works, just like the the fight. You know what I'm saying? It makes it, if there's nothing else, he's gonna fight to give you an emotional reaction on something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Whether it's you're actually feeling for the character, even if it's like, yo, this is actually kind of making me squeamish. Like he's trying to draw an emotional reaction out of you. Like that's
mhm.
what it really feels like. Um,
Like
what
it's
was
go-
crazy?
I was gonna say it's
Go
gonna
ahead.
be something that's just gonna like piss you off too. Like,
Yeah, there might be something that's gonna definitely piss you off for sure in there. But what's crazy is Chainsaw Man Part 1 drops. It kills it. It's
mm,
amazing. So amazing that they're like, you know what we need to do? We need to go dig up all his old one shots and put them in an omnibus so y'all can see how good his writing is. And he's kind of now turned his one shots, which one shots are usually reserved for, I feel like, up and comers
mhm,
or someone making a comeback. That's usually
mm.
what they're reserved for. Some up and comer is getting his one shot. They're getting a chance to kind of introduce maybe a world, some characters, some things. You're gonna see how it does. Or it's, hey, here is this, I think uh Kubo's a good one with Bleach, with Burn
Mhm.
the Witch, essentially. Like Burn the Witch was short, ran one, started as a one shot, then you got a couple chapters, but
And it got an anime adaptation. I think
yeah, you
two
got
anime
that man, but
adaptations.
yeah. But like that was really kind of like, hey, he's back type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
And
Fujimoto has like legit mastered the one shot.
yeah, to the point where they released the anime for all the one shots. It's all on Prime Video. You go on Prime Video right now, you can watch all the one shots from that omnibus, bro. And the studios behind that did a really good job with you look at it. Like, you would think it's Mappa, it's not Mappa. It's like random studio. I can't even think about who they were. Matter of fact, let me look them up. But it just goes to show how great his works is, where just random studios will be like, no, we got to do this, we got to animate this. His work is just that good where we can put out something for people to enjoy like this, and they're short stories, so they're easy to fall into. If he wanted to expand on them, he could, but they were just like building blocks for him to become the writer that he is today. Like, I guarantee you, whenever he decides to drop another, whether it's another one shot or another long running series, despite how people feel about the ending of Chainsaw Man Part 2, we will be there. People will be there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Once again, he's really mastered this craft.
Yeah.
It's a thing of, I would read a novel without the pictures. That's how good his writing is to me. Like if he was just like, hey, I'm
Yes.
finna just write a novel, no pictures, just I'm writing a novel, I'm getting it, because he has shown me multiple times throughout that he can write compelling stories. And I like the fact that he does stay true to his interests. Once again, the very millennial writer. I mean, even Chainsaw Man, he's just talking about, hey, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the inspiration behind this. I watched it, I loved it. The Raid, another really good one. If you look at uh the drawings of the hall with the door, that comes from the Raid too. That, like,
Mm-hmm.
that building, how the building looks. So his influences, um coming from film, and him like kind of taking this very much cinematic approach to this art form and to this medium, it, it's only a skill that he has. Like this is
Mm.
not something that you can teach.
No. Like, it's something that you've had to be
Yes,
influenced
like
by.
you have to cultivate this. Like
Yeah.
this is, you can't teach what he does. It's sometimes even hard. Like I said, even talking about it now, I'm like, dang, like what is it? Like it is just this way that he is able to write and able to piece a story together that feels like I'm reading a movie. that feels like I
Mm-hmm.
am like I'm having this same cinematic experience while I'm reading this manga or reading this one shot. The way that
Mm-hmm.
he's actually able to use like pauses in his stories, which is I feel completely underrated. He
No,
can go
absolutely.
he can roll 3-4 pages with no dialogue, no words, and you're able to kind of just like, oh, like I'm still feeling something though within these pictures, within these panels, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the same with the movie. There are moments in movies where characters are not talking, but they're still portraying an emotion. They're still doing it. He's able to he once again storyboards this that feels like, oh no, like this is just a movie on paper, and that's what I want it to feel like.
Mm-hmm. The only thing that I would criticize him for, which is not really like a criticism for real, but it's just I wish it was a little bit more effort into the art when it comes to some of the scenes that he does draw. Like it feels like some of them are sketches, a lot of them are sketches, but when you go and look at like earlier works, it's like no, he was able to put his foot into like he can draw. Like he could be up there with some of the greats if he was given the time to draw, but with like parts, I guess, parts of Chainsaw Man, it felt like the weekly deadline was getting to him, which is why when we get to Chainsaw Man Part 2, sometimes it was weekly, other times he could take like a good little 2 week, maybe a month break, and then drop a chapter or two back to back, and then he could just take his time with this story at this point. Um, but it just felt like he didn't have a chance to like really draw like he could in prior works. So that's my only thing, because like with a lot of mangaka, they can put out chapters ahead of time, like at least 3 weeks in advance minimal, right? Up to like 17 weeks. Like I know we got Hunter x Hunter back. That man has been drawing at least like the last 10 chapters that's being published right now, at least 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like when we look at some of the works that he had to put out, I mean Fujimoto, it just feels like he didn't have a chance to like draw like he could until you get to like the last page, and it's like a very grotesque scene where like somebody's head is chopped off, or Chainsaw Man, like Pochita Chainsaw Man comes out. You know what I'm saying? So I just wish like for whatever his next work is, like, just take a little bit more effort into that. But that does leave for like the anime to do a lot with that type of fluidity and motion, because a lot of the times if it's not like truly drawn, that's because like the anime will give it a lot more expression and a lot more expressiveness, and it's not like you can't follow it. You know what I'm saying? It's clear what his intent in the scenes are.
Absolutely. No, I definitely hear you on that critique. I think that's a valid one, right?
Mhm.
I don't think you're wrong for feeling that way at all, because it's something that he does. But yeah, I don't. Man, he has, like I said, during this day and age, this generation of mangaka that we had, this generation of anime, I think we're talking from a pure writing sense and just creative sense. He's at the top of the mountain.
Mhm.
There's only a couple people I will put near him. Once again, I think Horikoshi goes up there for the simple fact that I feel that Horikoshi is kind of the last of a dying breed of old shonen writers. Like you can definitely tell that what his inspirations were kind of a lot more older shonen
Mhm.
manga. But this one, I think what Fujimoto is doing, just because once again it's so different from what everyone else is doing. It's so different than what the norm was and still is, and he's just able to carve out his own thing from it. Like I said, has given us two serialized series, multiple chapters. Um, One has now become a absolute phenomena, but within that, he is still able to give us one shot works that are creating the same, really getting the same motion uh as the serialized stuff,
Mhm.
which is crazy. Like I mean, Look Back has a movie and did the Look Back did numbers.
Right.
like Like the Look Back movie did well in theaters.
Like who would you compare him to as far as like a movie director? Would you say he's like Michael Bay, Chris Nolan, like what movie director who you Spike Lee, you know,
Spike
Jordan
Lee.
Jordan Peele.
Hey, no, fuck that. You know what I want? Hey, tell him to do goddamn. Hold on, what Spike Lee movie do I want him to?
Oh man.
What Spike Lee movie do I want Fujimoto to redo?
All
right, real answer. Real answer.
Oh god.
Inside Man.
You know what? I ain't mad at that. You know what?
If he was able to redo Inside Man or Clockers, that would be fire. Now, what do I feel that he would do? Either She's Gotta Have It or Jungle Fever. Those are probably the two ones because those are the movies with the most horny in it. All right.
I was gonna say Crooklyn because it's like you could do a lot more with that one.
Man, him touching Crooklyn would be OD. Bro, the huffing scene alone. The crackhead scene alone is gonna the dog dying?
Exactly.
Yeah, he's gonna snap.
Bro, I'm telling you. Oh, he got options. He got options with Spike Lee. I ain't even gonna hold you.
He does have options with Spike Lee. If I have to compare him to somebody though, who would be his director? Part of me wants to say David Lynch.
I ain't mad at that.
But also too, I'm trying to think. Yeah, David Lynch. David Lynch did Eraserhead. That's more than enough.
Yeah.
Twin Peaks. Dune. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
I mean, unless you go really old, maybe Alfred Hitchcock.
I was about to say Alfred Hitchcock. Like that might be the one.
Yeah, you can definitely tell he watched a lot of older horror films.
He's not a Steven Spielberg type of person.
No, he's not. Like
it's there, but like Steven Spielberg is more of a wholesome type of movie director. He's out there. Like you got to think about like E.T., right? Like it's wholesome, but it's still like aliens. Imagine him trying to tell the E.T. story.
Oh yeah, like E.T. gonna have like a dick or something, like that's that's why I can't trust him with it. Oh, it's gonna be wild. Like E.T. gonna be crazy. E.T. gonna be trying to like touch booties and and E.T. gonna be a freak bowl. That's why I'm like, I don't know. I'm trying to think. It's gotta be somebody that does weird stuff. David Lynch, Alfred Hitchcock, maybe Wes Craven. Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream.
Yeah.
I think that guys like that is who I will put him in. That if he had to have a counterpart, would definitely be over there.
Yeah.
But nah, man, Fujimoto is I think like I said, what makes him just great is that he really is a great representation of especially if we're in our letterboxed era of life. He is the manga for now, the mangaka of now. That's really his title for me. Like he is truly the mangaka of now.
Yeah, like whoever gets a Fujimoto work, you're guaranteed a hit. You just got to do it justice because he will give you a story worth telling.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that a lot of his stuff, I mean, I think there's like even the Look Back live action, I think that's gonna be done really well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I have no qualms about like that.
Yeah, I'm like, because the other thing about it is it's just a normal, like there's nothing supernatural about it other than the door, but it's a suspense thriller type of thing. It's nothing that you need to do extra with CGI or anything. It's just a story about two girls trying to become mangaka. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was anything else, like any of his other short stories, it might be a little eyebrow raising. I think he has one short story that is really down to earth, like a kid wants to be an astronaut or something like that, right? And he stops a bullet with his hand. That's probably the most out there. And even then, that's still more down to earth. But like Chainsaw Man live action, would you go for a Chainsaw Man live action?
Maybe.
Think about it like Marvel. Think of like Ghost Rider. Like think like Hellboy.
Yeah, and that's why the same realm I'm thinking of it. Like if they go, that's the route they're gonna have to take with it. It's gonna have to be like one of them early 2000s dark anti-hero. Even though I fucked with that Ghost Rider film, I can't even lie, and I'm not even a Nicolas Cage fan.
Ghost Rider is what made me a Nicolas Cage guy. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like he did that up.
I fucked with a Ghost Rider though for sure. But
yeah,
I think once again, Fujimoto, a man in a class of his own. He has truly created his own and carved out his own voice. He truly carved out his own like route, which is amazing to see, amazing to just be a part of, because we're just such fans, but nah, man, Fujimoto has truly, I think, now set himself apart and put him on a pedestal, and just his success, not just like media, like how we view success, but just success in his assistants, the things that have come after him, how he is able to just keep our attention. We got to give Fujimoto his flowers. The sicko with the pen, he's truly a one of one, and the fact that we got to be on this timeline with him, super fire.
Yeah, like we appreciate his work. Hopefully within the next year or two, he'll be back in the writer's room, dropping another one shot, maybe a full series. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Because
do you think we're getting a part 3 at Chainsaw Man? Does he 3-peat it with Chainsaw Man?
He might give us like a one-shot epilogue or something. That might be it, or maybe like a spin-off novel. I don't know if he could.
Is that I would take whatever. I would take a one shot. That's how good he is.
Yeah. Whatever he decides to do, I'm there. App is open day one. You know what I'm saying?
At day one, bro. No second guessing. No, none of that. But all right, guys, this will wrap up this week's episode of the Big Eyes Podcast. Thank you so much for listening with us. As we continue to go down this road of our favorite mangakas. Next time you hear us, okay, I don't want to overpromise. However, the next time you hear us, the next week we're back, high possibility you're getting a double feature. High possibility. So stay on the lookout as always. But Fujimoto, make sure you read his works. Make sure you go and read Fire Punch. Make sure you go read Chainsaw Man. Make sure you go read Goodbye Eerie. Make sure you go read Look Back. And you can really understand what we're talking about when we're saying that the man's pen game is he's nice with it. But thank you guys very much for listening to this week's episode. You will hear from us soon. As always, be on the lookout for the lookout. Follow us and listen to us wherever you enjoy podcasts. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. That's where you'll see our beautiful faces and our wonderful playlist made by the one and only AD.
I worked hard on those. Go check out everything.
Man, he worked hard. He worked hard on those. But no, thank you guys so much, and we'll listen to y'all soon, or y'all will listen to us soon. All right, peace.
Yep.